everybody. Yes, it's me again. Ah, yeah, it's that fella from Chesterfield. You know who I am. Anyway, in this video, I'm all on my own. I haven't got my mate with me, and I'm riding up to Monyash. Yes, Monyash tea rooms. And I'm on my own, so I start chatting along to you lot. And whilst I'm going along, I give you some of my twisted points of view. You see what I did then? Yes, you may agree with them or you may not. Let me know. Let me know. Yes. Oh, and while I was up in Monyash, I met Larry, a subscriber from Eastwood. Hi Larry, thanks for subscribing, and thanks to everyone else that's subscribed. Thank you. And without more ado, come on, let's get going and join me just as I'm getting to the top of Guerilla Edge. Welcome back everybody. Yes, it's that fella from Chesterfield again, Twisted Spire Rider. And I'm in good old Derbyshire, in the heart of the country. And we're coming along now to my favourite view. Well, one of them. I've taken you down here before, but when the weather's like this, you can't get too much of a good thing. Just dropping over Guerilla Edge here. And look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Yes. Soothes the soul. Nice ride out on the bike. Forget all your worries. And that's what a lot of people need nowadays. Soothe the soul. There's so much anger about, especially on the roads. People never cease to amaze me. I saw two fellas the other week. I don't know what had gone off, but they were at some traffic lights squaring up to each other. Lots of pipping, lots of shouting, and it's just a moment in time, isn't it? Never to be repeated when you're driving. All this filming people and losing your temper and reporting them. There's no need for it at all. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody loses their temper as well, but you've got to keep your emotions in control when you're driving. Well, especially when you're on a motorbike as well, because it's your emotions running away with people that lead to a lot of accidents on motorcycles, getting a little bit carried away. But yeah. What's it all about? Is it that we just see more of it now because it's reported, isn't it? You know, I suppose it might have been happening before, but it'd be an instant, and if nobody was there to see it and repeat it verbally, tell people what happened, that was it. It was gone, wasn't it? And my view, my twisted view of the Twisted Spire Rider is that was better because you let it go. Let it go. Now then, which way shall we go? Left here. Yeah, you've got to let things go, else it'll eat you up. I was watching a video online the other day, as you do, and it was the most insane thing. There was a couple walking along by the side of a canal. I think they got a child with them, so maybe that put them into protective mode, I suppose. But it was filmed from the view of a cyclist, and the cyclist was going towards them, and the cyclist didn't slow down or dismount, and the pedestrians didn't move out of the way, and it ended up with the cyclist in the canal. I mean, the title of the clip said that the cyclist was pushed into the canal, but from the clip I saw you couldn't see whether anybody pushed them into the canal or not. And I think it was claimed that the poor old cyclist couldn't swim. But I mean, what sort of madness is that? I know probably somebody's in the wrong, but you know, if both had just calmed themselves down a bit, the cyclist could have slowed down, maybe, like I say, maybe dismounted while it passed the people on the narrow path. I mean, personally I think that would have been a good idea. And also, in anticipation of the bike coming, the people could also probably just move over and let the cyclist go past. Yeah, but as a result, poor old cyclist ended up in the mucky old canal, and it was said that the cyclist couldn't swim. Well, no, obviously they got out and recovered the film. Well, see what I mean? Mad, absolutely mad, all about nothing. And it occurred to me afterwards as well. I mean, I'm not a cyclist, but I've seen cyclists fall off at junctions, and it's because they have their feet clipped onto the pedal. Imagine if that cyclist went in the river with the feet clipped to the pedals, in the canal, sorry. I think they used to did they call them rat traps? But they put the toes in the end, don't they? And then there's I don't know. Yeah, somebody might know out there. Let me know what they are. But I know it clamps the foot on, because I saw a fella the other week. He set off at a junction and he overbalanced, and his foot was clipped in, and he overbalanced the other way, and he obviously couldn't get his foot down. He fell over, the poor fella. Oh, are you alright, mate? Your mate fell off. So that, I mean, that could have been a fatality, all for the sake of just being nice to each other. Yeah, and you get it all the time on, you know, as you ride around as a motorcyclist. I'm sure motorcyclists have had similar things. You'll be filtering down through a lane of slow moving traffic in a traffic jam and you'll see a car in front, and they'll see you coming and they'll move right over so you can't get past. Right over. I mean, obviously a gap will occur and you'll get round and leave the frustrated car driver, but why? I don't know, it's madness. The world has gone mad. They're one of my favourite bugbears is, I don't know if driving instructors train people to do this now, but when people are turning right, this is in the UK obviously, we drive on the left, when people are turning right, when I was learning to drive I was taught to move over to the right as far as possible. If it wasn't a solid white line in the middle of the road, just get your wheel just over the white line and leave enough room for traffic to pass on the left. But not now. When people are turning right, I had one the other day on the bike, and there was a centre little lane, you know, for right turners to get into, and this car in front was approaching this right turn, and they put the right hand indicator on, and I moved over to the left thinking they were, you know, going to get in this little box in the middle of the road, and no, they went right over to the curb. You couldn't have got a bicycle past. Huh? So he succeeded in stopping a motorcyclist, passing him on the left whilst he was turning right. So I sat patiently there and we waited for the traffic to go and he turned right. And you think to yourself, are these people crazy? I think some of them are. It's a game, isn't it, I suppose, to some people. And men are the worst, definitely. The men are terrible. It's like I'm going to show him. He's not getting past me. And it gives them some sort of satisfaction. What, I will never know. Road rage. Keep your doors locked when you're in your car. That's my tip. You see these clips and people get out and they go across to the other car and yank the door open and thinking, oh no, you should have locked your door. My wife's car, we haven't got it anymore, but it was a Renault and it was very good. You went down the road and after about 100 yards it automatically locked the doors, which I liked. I thought, well, it's keeping her safe, that is, isn't it? Keep your windows up, keep your doors locked. You don't know who's out there. And they could be out to get you. Coming down to Hassop roundabout. Roundabouts are a good one as well, aren't they? And you're in the car and you're in the right lane, the proper lane, I don't mean the right hand lane, to come off at the appropriate place. And then there's some fool that thinks because it's two lanes, it's a dual carriageway, it's there for overtaking, and then they try and turn off in front of you, don't they? And you're thinking, holy guacamole, what's he playing at? So you've got two options. You can keep going and he'll beep at you and might even run into you, or you can put the brakes on and let him go. And I go for option number 2 because they're safer in front of you. It's better when you can see their back end when they're behind you. It's yeah, you don't know what they're going to do. Mind you, when they're in front, you don't know what they're going to do. You see these crazy people, don't you? I saw one the other day, and they were coming onto a big highway in Australia. And I don't know if you've seen the lorries in Australia, but they have what they call land trains, and they're absolutely huge. They're an articulated lorry, a big articulated lorry, pulling a trailer that's pulling a trailer that's pulling a trailer that's probably pulling another trailer. They look like a train going down the road. They're absolutely massive. And this guy's coming onto this big highway, and there's one of these road trains tanking along in the near side lane, and he couldn't pull on because the road train was there. But I mean, this guy had got 3-4 trailers on. It was massive. So he's beeping the horn, which I suppose if he was about 3 trailers behind, the lorry driver wouldn't even hear him in his cab. But still, anyway, he's beeping his horn, and he had to slow down and pull him behind this great big monstrosity of a thing. And of course, what does he do? Puts his foot down, goes round in front of the road train, and to teach him a lesson, he slams his brakes on. Stay there, matey, stay there. Yes, be careful. Yeah, he slams his brakes on. Can anybody guess what the result of that was? Yep. He turned his car into a threepenny bit. Well, mind you, people won't know what a threepenny bit is. It was an old coin with flat edges on it, a little coin, before we went decimal. If anybody's old enough out there to remember it, the old threepenny bit. Yeah, he turned his car into a threepenny bit. Not good. Oh, people aren't thinking straight, are they? Definitely not. Cyclists. Now then, that's another big kettle of fish, isn't it? Cyclists. Oh dear. Everybody gets mad at the cyclists. And there are some angry cyclists as well. You see some really aggressive cyclists, but I mean, some of them they're all dressed up in the gear, aren't they? And I mean, he was just ambling along, that chap, but some of them, when they're in a bunch, or even when they're on their own, I think they're doing like time trials and things like that, aren't they? You know, to see how fast they can get from A to B, and they time themselves. There's an app, isn't there? I think it's called Strava, what the bicyclists sort of use, and it plots the route and times how fast they've done it. And I suppose if the young fit men, they want to, and women, don't rule women out, they want to beat the personal best, don't they? They're bombing down the road trying to beat the personal best, and then there's a lorry trying to back into a factory gateway or something, and he's pulled across the road. And they're going berserk because they can't get past. Dear oh dear. But, yeah, that's the beauty of the motorbike, isn't it? You see the cyclists up in front, and it's not a problem, is it? Because we just give them a wide berth. Like I say, I've got my beeper on, my indicator, and more times than not, they'll hear that beeper on and they'll turn their head and look what's going off. It's quite good for cyclists. Hey, up, bunch of lads out here, look. Going nice and steady. That's good. I bet they have come from where I'm going. Does anybody recognise this road yet? Yeah, I bet one or two do. Yeah. But if you're coming up behind the cyclists and you're in your car and they're two abreast, oh dear. Yes, tempers start getting raised. That's Magpie Mine on the right hand side there. Very famous mine around these parts. Obviously not working nowadays, but it was a lead mine. Mining lead. A lot of lead mined in this area. One of the big Roman lead mining areas this was. Derbyshire. Oh, he's off the road there. Careful, mate. Yeah, you get behind a bunch of cyclists in your car and you can't get past. And then somebody will pip at the cyclists, and then that'll enrage the cyclists, and then we've got the old Mexican standoff then. I'm not getting under, so you can come past if you keep pipping at me. Oh, he's in the potholes there. Yes, but you've got to give cyclists room. I do believe that it's overdone nowadays with this prosecuting people for a near miss. I'm not a cyclist, but I was as a boy. I always had a bicycle, and I always had a mirror on it, so I could see if anything was going to come and kill me. But yeah, this near miss business, they'll pass sort of within 2 or 3 feet and there's no contact, Nobody's injured, no danger of any contact, and yet because they've gone past closely, it's an offence, and they've all got cameras on now and they report it and you get prosecuted. I mean, is that right? Because as we all know, the cyclists pass close, don't they? You leave your car out from the curb just a quarter of an inch too much and that cyclist will be through. He'll not bother, he will squeeze through. And then here we come on to Chapel Street. Nothing coming. Job's a good un. Yes, so that's my twisted view on that. I don't know whether you agree or disagree. I'm sure you've all got tales to tell. And now I'm going to relax a while I have a nice cup of tea at the Monyash tea rooms. Here we go. I'm going to slop down there in the middle. So, that's a nice bonny bill. I'll leave you folks there a while I have a brew. Bye bye now. Ta-ta.